Well, this week we are going to take some of those pieces that came in that box. We're going to prime them and we're going to glue them together and start making the shell of this dollhouse. Stay tuned and see how this all comes together. All right, I have a pile of pieces to our dollhouse. I'm not sure if we're going to need this one. I'll go over what these are and what I'm going to do off camera. This one is our attic ceiling. We have a sidewall. We have another sidewall on the bottom. I have the attic dividers. I have the divider for the downstairs, and I have the front of the dollhouse. There's the other side. Also, I'm going to pull this floor over because I'm going to prime. I'm going to prime both sides of all of these, except for in the grooves and on the very edges. And this piece, I'm going to prime the bottom side of our floor. Basically, those are all the parts that will either be painted or covered in paper later. So let me get set up. I'll do the first couple with you so you can see how it's going to go, and then I'll do the rest of this massive amount of painting off camera because I can't even fit all this on the table at once. All right, and when I was going through the parts I needed to paint, I missed this piece. This is the groove fill, and we're going to use that, so I'll also be priming that with the rest of today's stuff. So I'm going to prime on camera. I'm going to do just the front side of the front of the house. You don't need to watch me prime the whole thing. What I'm going to do, I'll prime this. When it dries, I'll flip it over. You can see I've got wet paint because I've been priming a few other pieces off camera. I'll prime the back, trying my best to keep it out of this groove here where the floor goes. And when I'm all done and these are all dry, I'll come back and we will start the assembly of the house. So I've got my paint, my primer in my little roller tray. And I've got my roller out of the freezer. It's all thawed out. And I went through and did a couple of pieces of the siding just to see how it was going to work. And I wrapped my roller up. These are baby wet wipes. If you roll these around and put a plastic wrap over it, you can leave your roller or your paintbrush out for a few hours on the table. And as long as they're covered in those, they will stay wet. And I am loving this roller. It is so fast. It puts this paint on so smoothly. It's like using a roller on real house painting. It's just a game changer. Now I did notice, because like I said, I did a few pieces off camera just to see how this was going to go. These pieces, when you do the ridge side, even on the back side first, no matter which side you do first, they do warp just a little bit. But once you get the second side done, they flatten out. So don't panic if you notice you paint one side of your piece and you walk away and you come back later and look, and don't panic if it's a little bit bowed. It's pretty normal and it does straighten out. If we have any that don't straighten out, I will show you how to fix it. It's mainly just a matter of having some patience and putting some weight on it. So I'm going to get this out of the way. But you can see how fast this is going. And it's putting a nice thin coat of the primer on very evenly. I'm not getting paint all over the table. But there. I do need to remember to go. I need to get into some stores this week, and I need to get some sandpaper really soon. I also need to get some foam brushes. Just a little more to do that part. All right. So once this is all done, I'm going to get these spots all done. Yeah, don't push down too hard with your roller. You'll make a big blob of paint is what you'll do. I just take a couple of wet wipes, wrap these around. That helps keep it moist. And some people say you can just do that, and sometimes I do, but for this I am going Since primer dries so fast, I'm putting the plastic on also. So I'm going to let this dry. I'll do the other side. I'll set it off the side. I'll get the rest of the stack done. When everything's painted, primed, and finished, dried out, then we can start the next step. All right, all the pieces we're going to use to construct the body of the house have been primed, and they're dry. In fact, I primed them, it's been almost a week ago. So now I'm going through, I've got an emery board here, and I'm going through, and any place that there's, like this drip will be fine. I've kind of evened it off. But if I'm finding big spots, I'm kind of sanding those down, making sure I don't have any stuff hanging over the edge. Like there's a spot. I would normally use sandpaper, but I once again forgot to pick up sandpaper and can't find any in the house. But that's all smooth enough now. So now I'm going to get my glues out, and I'm going to get my tape ready, and we are going to start gluing the body of the house together. All right, I've got my area prepped. I've got the 3 pieces I'm going to work with first, sitting right here. The next piece is sitting right to my side, off camera where you can't see it. We're going to be gluing the 2 sides to the base, to the bottom floor basically. I have my masking tape right here ready to go, so I can tear out pieces and put them on. I've dry fit all my pieces, meaning I've held them up together to make sure they're going to fit, to make sure the slots are clean, to make sure everything fits. I've got my wood glue sitting upside down in a cup. Now I really wasn't confident that this disposable cup would hold my glue upright. I figured it would tip over. At the same time, I didn't want to get glue in my good mug, so I'm using them together. That way, when I'm done today, I can just throw away this plastic cup and I won't have glue all over my mug. Now, if you are a longtime viewer, the next thing I'm going to show you might shock you, but there's a reason. I have my hot glue gun ready. Why, you might ask? Well, if you're a longtime viewer, you know that I like to use what I call the 2 glue method. Generally, I would use wood glue and then a few dots of super glue. Well, I don't think super glue is heavy enough to hold this together while that glue dries. Hot glue, I think, has a better chance. Now, I'm not relying on hot glue to hold it long term. The hot glue is just there to act as an extra clamp. So, wish me luck. We're going to run a bead of glue, not quite continuous on this track. And I think I will do the other one here to the side at the same time. I'm leaving a few spaces. That's so I have a place to put my hot glue. Now I'm going to do what you should never do. I'm setting this, I've got both of these sitting on top of my floor. Probably not the best location, but I wanted to have it where the camera could see it. Okay, now I'm going to have to work a little bit quickly. And I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do this. So hot glue, hot glue, hot glue, hot glue. Now, and we want to run this, set this on its back, set it flat on the back of the dollhouse. The front side is up. That's where the roof line is. Now, get 3 pieces of masking tape and tape this in place. I'm not going to do a really tight tape until I get the other side on and the middle floor in. Then I'll go tighter. All right, now let's do the same thing with this piece. Let's put this where you can see it. I'm not sure if I can or not. Gluing with my left hand is not one of my better talents, so all right, there we go. Now, put this one in. Now I'm making sure on the bottom of my house that, I have to move the tripod just a little bit, that everything is held together and everything is flat, that the backs of everything are lined up with my table. That's really important. Take a couple of pieces of tape here. I don't think you can see me putting the tape on, but I will take some pictures of how this looks taped. The bottom is trying to come apart, so I'm going to tape it. Now, we need to run some glue in this track. And any glue that's extra, that's kind of bubbled past, I can always get that out, pop that off with a knife. If I end up with big, like gobs of hot glue or wood glue that have popped out. Gravity is taking my glue towards the table, so I want to work kind of quickly here. But I want to get this in. Now, the stair opening goes on that end. Wrong way. Almost put it upside down. That would have not been good. Get this down. Get it lined up. I know it fits because I had it in there earlier. I'm going to have to move you guys. Tripod's in the way. Come on. Wiggle in. Okay. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to wrestle with this and then I'll be right back. All right, I've got it seated together. I will tell you, if you have two people to do this, it's going to be much better. Now we have this little groove filler. It is going in right here. Fills in the remainder of that groove, which if I wasn't trying to keep my head out of the camera, it might work better. But yeah, okay, I will get this in off camera because I'm obviously not able to do it with the camera where you guys can see. I'm going to get this tightened up a little more, and I think we got one more piece I want to add before. I want to get the attic ceiling in before this dries. So I want to get this taped better, get the groove fill in, and then I'll be right back. All right, we have one more piece that I want to get in before the glue starts to dry, and that's this triangular piece. I should have cleared myself a path. This is a workout to do by yourself, I will tell you that. So if you, like I said earlier, if you have help available, use it. Really could have used somebody I could have drafted this morning to help me. All right. So I am going to tape this. I need my tape, which I left on the other side of the dollhouse. We need to get this in now to make sure that the walls are not bowing out. And put tape in all directions on this so that you can tell that it's done. Well, I'm going to have to get the camera out of my way and put this on, then I'll be back. All right, I know you can't really see anything, but I did get that ceiling piece put in. It took quite a few words that cannot be said on YouTube and a lot of tape to pull the ends in to meet that piece. But I think I've got it glued in. I need to let the glue dry, and then we'll take a look at what we've gotten done. All right, I think this is about as far as we're going to get today. This glue needs to dry. The shell is getting pretty stable now. We'll have a little patching to do next week, and we'll put the front on. We'll divide the top into 2 rooms. I'm not sure what else we're going to do next week. We'll figure it out then. But I want this glue to dry before I take the tape off to do any more. So this is a good stopping place as any. Be sure and check the blog post, and be sure and check the Facebook page. That's the best place to catch me yet. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, be sure you do. It's really easy. There's a subscribe button down there underneath the video. I'd really appreciate it if you'd push that like button. It really helps the channel and helps the video to be seen by more people. And if you know anybody else that wants to see the video, share the link with them. Have them join our party, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.